Yay! Finally.
Yay! We made it. Right when I got the technical difficulties message up, it whoosh, which is a good thing.
Yeah, it was just.
Hello. And we are on the air 6 minutes late. We apologize. Honestly, we were dishing about other things and looked down and saw it was 9:30 and went, oh shit.
And then when I went to go on, I had signed out of my Google account for YouTube. And I always just like to double check and resave it before we go on, just to make sure that it's not doing anything funky. And it was like, no, you can't save it because you're not signed in. And so I was going in circles with it. It's just crazy. So
it goes back and back.
anyway, yeah.
So Chris is with us here tonight.
Hey!
Hello, and Ronald is back again too. Good evening,
Yay!
Gentlemen. Namaste.
Thank you for being here
and being patient with us. We appreciate that.
Riding on our crazy train.
It's even got.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah. We
More
have
cowbell.
bells.
More cowbell. Yeah. So, welcome everyone. This is Eyes of Indigo. And beside me is Iris Carter, our founder and our producer and our lead host. And I am Margot Ross Sears, her happy companion in this journey in podcasting. And we are friends from way back on and off the internet. And we welcome you to our show. We have been doing this since September of 2020. Iris has been doing it weekly since 2020. And with a 99.9% success rate.
Y'all get me every week, whether you like it or not.
No, it's good. It's all good. And Heather and Angela are with us again tonight. Hi, ladies. Good evening. And if you are new to the show and you want to know who is this Margot person and who is this Iris person, please feel free to visit the first episode on YouTube or Facebook called Prequel. And that will give you a 30-minute rundown of our CVs, our resumes, our work histories, and it's actually entertaining to watch and listen.
We hope anyway. It's entertaining to us, so of course it's entertaining to you.
We hope you like it. We certainly did. And you can learn more about what we did so that we're obviously not rehashing the same old stuff. Intro credentials, our credentials, which we've got loads of them. We're not going to spend the first 30 minutes running over our credentials every time. But instead, we're going to have education and fun. Yeah. Our motto is talking about weird stuff in a rational way. So we love that. That motto came to us from Deborah, Iris's sister. Everybody send Deborah good juju. She's on a healing journey right now. And she can use, like anyone else, she can use a little extra. She's on a tough journey at the moment. And she's hanging in there. She's tough as rocks as we are. Deborah has actually been a guest on the show a couple of times. You can actually find her in past episodes. And tonight, let's see. Oh, you can watch us through Facebook and YouTube. Uh-huh. And right now, it looks like everybody who's commented so far is all Facebookers so far. But YouTube, if you're coming to us through YouTube, we still read and say everything out loud so that both platforms can understand what's going on. And that is important for tonight's topic and what we're going to do tonight. Iris, take us away.
Tonight we are going to have a little bit of fun, and let me put this up so you can see it. We're going to be psychic readers for y'all. Yeah. So if we're going to read y'all, and we'll take your questions, and see what we see.
Well, see what your guides want to show us.
Yeah, exactly. So
they choose.
So feel free to put if you have a particular question, or if you just want to kind of know What?
Let me throw. Yeah, can I try throwing out some structure to make
Sure.
this a little easier and faster for us? Hi, Edie. Hi, Michelle. Good to see you. Glad you're here. And basically, this is a mini reading. Let me make it a little more clear. I
Yeah.
wanted to throw in the word mini reading because a real reading can take anywhere from 30 minutes to half an hour. Oh, sorry. That was I can take between 2 and 1 brain cells here. No. I can take in 6 minutes.
Reset yourself. Oh.
I'm telling you. Does anybody else have? I mean, finally a little bit of evidence. Y'all know the world and the universe and my English is going to hell in a handbag lately. The energy and weird shit's happening. It's hard to think straight, talk straight, and everything else. Little evidence of that coming through. So let me try again. These are miniature readings. These are basically 1-off, 2-off questions. And if you ask us a question that takes 20 minutes to answer, we'll try to kind of sort of tell you, I'm going to shorten this for the sake of everybody that wants to can have a turn. So what we're asking you guys to do is, if you feel like it, go ahead and type in a question, and it can be past, present, or future. It can be about yourself or your loved ones. It can be about world situations and famous people or infamous people. It can be about something in history. It can be about something in the future.
It can be about just in a general, like, what do I need to know?
What do I need to know is one of the best questions. It can be about past lives. We plug into those all the time. It can be about life after death. It can be about your children, your job, your spiritual journey, that weird shit that happened in your childhood. What was that about? Because we can go back and look. So Iris and I tend to tap into the Akashic Record. Iris, can you nutshell describe what your source of information usually is when you're doing intuitive readings?
When I do intuitive readings, I go straight to Creator, God, whatever your term is, the higher power. And from there, I ask to access what I need in order to respond to people. So I'm not like just contacting some spirit entity that may or may not be, legitimate or genuine.
Yeah.
And that way, and it's also a thing of, some people end up when you channel another energy, there's a payback, there's an exchange, and a lot of times. And so by going to the highest power, they'll set up and do all the negotiating without me having to be affected, which is cool. And so that's where I get a lot of my clarity. And so sometimes I'll go from there into the Akashic Records, or I'll go from there and talk to somebody else or a higher self or whoever needs to come forward to talk to me about what's going on. So
I'm hearing you say you go to the other side, or maybe we would call it the other side of the veil, and make use of your contacts and your presence out there.
I go to the 7th plane of existence, which
there
is
you
where...
Go. Explain it. What would you call it? Yeah.
It's the 7th plane of existence. It is the all that is. It's this bright, white, crystalline looking place. And from there, I have perspective of everything.
Nice.
And yeah, so it's really is cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
All right. So, in a nutshell, I'm still looking at all the beautiful names that I see on the screen, and the majority of you have met me or seen me or heard me do readings before, or I've read for you somewhere in the past, which is cool. So I'm going to nutshell, guys, basically I'm an eavesdropper. I listen to whatever guidance is around you. And similar to Iris, I go up to my higher self, my higher consciousness, and or my connection to what is the all-knowing. And that minimizes filters. and brings on discretion and appropriateness and discernment as well. And I am eavesdropping on your guidance, your spirit guides, your angels, your Akashic record, and so on. And I convey what words, symbols, feelings, visions, video clips, sometimes that I'm shown. Feelings, colors, stuff like that. And in a nutshell, that's where mine comes from. That's what's happening inside my head. Yeah, my awareness.
Yeah.
So I wanted to jump in. Iris, while you were talking, I feel really strongly to throw you one of the first questions.
Okay.
Look at if Chris Logains, how do I change from scarcity mindset to abundance mindset? Thank you.
Yeah,
how does he change his energy and mindset from scarcity to abundance?
Chris, the first thing that you need to ask yourself is, why do you think you're not worthy of abundance? Why do you feel that you don't deserve it? And when you recognize that it is your God-given, born, divine right to have access to anything that everybody else has access, when you can face that, and I'm hearing, quit listening to the voices. I want to say your mother, and I'm not being mean, but there's something about your mother chastised you or scolded you or said, I don't even want to put it that strong. She made a comment at some time, and maybe when you were a teenager, 12, 13
and it
years
reinforced
old,
your belief system
and
in
it
scarcity.
Reinforced it. Yeah, because
she wasn't trying to scare you. She just ended
it
up
could have
doing
been a comment like, well, it's no wonder you don't have nice things because you don't take care of what you have. Or it's no wonder if you don't straighten up, you're not gonna be worth anything. Or things that moms say in the middle of frustration. Or, God, you remind me of your uncle so and so, who was a guy that was
wasted money and time everywhere. Blah blah blah. Yeah.
So I would ask you to look at that and see if you can find that memory and recognize it as a logical adult, that was your mother's words that did not have to affect you.
It wasn't about you.
It wasn't about you, and that you can let go of that and send those words back to her, send them back to Creator. Just, okay, I don't need that trash anymore. And then recognize your divine right to have access to abundance. And remind yourself, every time you tell yourself, I can't, I don't, I won't, I'll never, get rid of those negative words in your vocabulary.
No, never not need to all be deleted from your vocabulary.
I saw a guy today, we were doing a job fair, and a guy was, we had prize drawings. And he was filling out the ticket with his name and number. He said, I'm going to fill this out, but I never win anything. He said, I always, and I said, stop that. I said, you don't win anything because you just said you never win anything. And he said, my grandmother told me that a couple of days ago. Don't be like my grandmother. I said, I am a grandmother. Get over it. And he just laughed.
He was still saying don't. He was still saying not.
Yes.
So you too. He's saying,
and when
don't
you
be my grandmother.
verbalize those words, the universe thinks that's what you want. So
the universe doesn't recognize no, never not. So whatever you're saying, they think you're saying you want it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so get the negative words out and find positive ways to reinforce. I will have. I do have.
Because remember, futuristic talk pushes it away in front of you as well.
That's true.
do have abundance. I do understand what abundance feels like.
Yeah.
I have abundance in my awareness. I wish for my abundance. I'm not worried, or I avoid worrying about anybody else's. Yeah, the words stop and avoid become handy when you're getting rid of no, not, never. So stop and avoid. Yeah, help a lot.
And I think,
Proactive words. Use
yeah,
proactive words.
and also one thing that a lot of people make mistakes with manifesting and wanting to have abundance, they're constantly asking, and it's like a reset button. If you ask for, okay, I have a new car, I have blah 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 blah, and then you have expectations for how that's going to come, and in a week it doesn't come, and you're going, I want that car, and it's like, well, the universe is going, well, damn, give me time.
Yeah. Got to start back over again. Yeah.
Yeah. So avoid re-asking. Put it out there and let it be.
Once. Have faith. It's a leap of faith.
So,
yeah, it will try your faith. Yeah, it's a good exercise in faith jumping. Have faith in your ability to manifest abundance and recognize opportunities that the universe gives you once you start manifesting.
That's
you have to act on those opportunities, and you trust your intuition to do it.
And sometimes you'll have opportunities that'll, and this is good for anybody, sometimes you'll think, well, I don't know if I really want to go for that job, or I don't know if I really want to do that or not, but you have this nagging feeling. Go for it, because that might not be your dream job or your dream activity, but it's going to lead you to the next step. So if you really feel that gut intuition, that
little voice in the back of your head, the quiet one that's always right,
then listen to it, and because you never know what's that step is towards. So
thank you. A point I made when I posted tonight's show, a point I made in the description was, come and listen. Just come hang out if you'd like. If you don't want to ask a question, you don't have to, because everything we're going to read for other people will have a little bit of something in it for you too. And thank you for reiterating that just a minute ago. This information can be useful. Anybody that hears it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you, Chris.
Awesome.
Thank you, Iris. Absolutely. All right. So I believe Heather was next. Actually, go up one. Edie will get her
I'm so
turn.
sorry, Heather. Okay.
No, Edie will get her turn. No worries. Heather Hilton, what do I need to know right now? And Iris, you're still on. I don't know why. I'm following my intuition.
Okay.
She followed your advice. She's asking what you said to ask.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Heather, should I keep going? Yeah, that was one thing, but I'm thinking.
Heather said I needed that too. Thank you, Chris. Very cool.
Yeah. Okay. So
good job, Chris.
But what else does Heather need to know right now? Heather.
All right, let's tag team this one. Guys, show us what Heather needs.
There's something that she's holding back on. Or she's got a
there's an alpha female in her life, and there are other females that are helping her cope with this. This has almost nothing to do with masculine energy, but there is an alpha type female. That doesn't mean that person has an alpha position in your life, but this person has alpha energy that's basically overbearing on you. It's basically too much. And it's up to you to set and reinforce boundaries. This does not mean cut this person off entirely. It means healthy boundaries.
Recognize that this person's holding you back. And I think you already know that.
Yeah.
And you just need to admit it to yourself.
It's okay.
And it's okay to tell that person, I love you, but
not so much.
Yeah.
Small doses.
Back off, lady.
Yeah. It's okay to look at her and say, I got this. It's okay to do that. And you've got other females helping you do that, helping you with this relationship, or maybe they have a similar relationship with her. Apparently, you're not the only one that this person affects that way.
I think she's very charismatic. There's something about her that
Mm-hmm.
everybody likes her, but then she likes to push her nose in, maybe, or push her opinions.
And and she's intelligent and she's valuable to have in your life, but that relationship is starting to push on your sense of worthiness and deservedness. Okay, it's starting to influence you to make yourself small, so that the comfort level, you're making yourself smaller for someone else's comfort.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you're starting to set a precedent for other people around her to do the same thing. I know you have a close relationship with your sister. Don't do it. Your sister's a sweetie too. Neither one of you needs to be small. Neither one of you needs to be small. And I cannot tell if this is a relationship person, or if this is a relative person, or if this is a work person, or a friendship person, or something. Or maybe it was a school teacher in the past that their energy is still attached to you. Don't know. But stop making yourself small.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah. Avoid making yourself small. Okay. Thank you.
So I hope that helped, Heather, and makes sense. We hope.
I hope you can take that somewhere. Yeah.
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 Okay. So now Edie, right? Make sure I haven't
Yes.
skipped any. Oh, wait. Yeah. Okay. Wait a minute. Oh, no.
Edie says, I'm sitting here nodding. I forget you can't see me.
Okay.
You know what's funny on our side, Edie, is we forget that y'all can see us.
And there, Heather liked what we said. Okay, so I'm gonna go up to Edie's. There's Edie's other comment. Whoops, wait a minute.
Yeah, it has.
Okay,
I think she started it with my name. Yeah.
Margot, mom passed recently. Can you check in on her? Also, last infusion today. So, what are the chances I'm done with cancer?
You're done with cancer because you just said so. I'm done with cancer. It was in your answer is in the question. You're done with cancer. And before I said that, I took a breath and checked in, and they said, hell yeah. Edie, you are way done with cancer. It's possible your exposure to it in the first place was actually rather minimal, regardless of what tests results you were told. You actually your body handled it extremely well. Now, you're fine. You're on your way up and out. So, mommy, what name was mom born with? There's a time delay between when you type and when we see it. But if you can tell me what name mom was born with, Janine's feeling enthusiastic. We'll fill a little time.
Cheering you on, yes.
Absolutely. And if you could write what mom's name was and post it, in the chat there, Edie, it helps me make sure that I'm definitely tuning in to your mother and not an echo or another entity that wants to be a succubus. No, that's not the right word. That's about sex. It wants to be like a leech. It wants to be a little energy vampire and pretend to be your mom.
Mildred.
Right. And we don't want that. So Mildred Ganzert. Wow, your family has some cool names. All right. You couldn't make these up. These are excellent novella names. Mildred Ganzert. That's really cool. Ganzert. Interesting. All right. So Iris, tune in with me. And let's see if we can, what is it we want to know about mom specifically? You want us to just check in on her?
Check in on her because
she passed recently. How's mom? Yeah, I mean, right after you die is woo.
Yeah.
It's all kinds of cool, fun, weird stuff happening right after you die. Mom did go to the light, definitely. So we're calling her.
She's settling in well. She's
keep going.
Yeah, she's finding her way around. She
has a cup of coffee in her hand.
Yeah, and she's
Some people
enjoying.
have a cup of tea, and she has a cup of coffee. Okay.
And she's enjoying the exploration and the freedom. And let's see.
Edie's talking about her journey with cancer.
Ah,
For her,
okay.
it felt brutal the last few years. There was so much fear. All that
Yeah.
is behind you now, and the faster you let go of it, the faster you're going to keep moving into the sunshine and become more and more, not just healed, but enlightened.
Forgive
So
yourself. You're holding on
forgive
to
yourself.
blame. You're holding on to some
Ooh,
blame.
wow. God, yeah. Excellent call. Excellent call, Iris. Yeah, yeah. Blame, guilt, and shame. I'm aware of Edie's family's religious backgrounds, and those are important elements in those belief systems, which Edie has not subscribed to for years. But we all know what our childhood does to us. Okay.
Oh,
So,
she means mom too.
all right. So, you mean mom had cancer too?
Or
Is
no,
that what?
she had a lot of fear, maybe.
Oh, mom had a lot of fear. Okay. I thought we were talking about cancer. Maybe we were,
Yeah, I
maybe
did
we
too.
weren't. We'll see.
Interesting.
So,
Yeah, but
Mildred's fine. Mildred's
yeah,
having fun visiting people she loved, literally like walking down the house, down the street, going from porch to porch and petting everybody's dog and sitting in their rockers and then going on to the next house. And she's
she is
carrying a hot
exploring
drink
the
with her
hell
the
out of
whole way.
everything. Oh, that's not bad.
No,
You,
that's all right. She did what the hell out of everything?
I said she's exploring the hell out of everything. I was like, no, wait a minute. That's not the words I want.
In a
Woo!
good way.
Yeah,
In
she's
a good
like
way. She's
she's
very
like, I'm
curious.
here and this is so cool. Yeah, she's very curious and very happy. She has
She
really made an instant adjustment.
she has stepped into her power, baby steps more and more, and she's discovering every what we would think of as like every hour or so, but there's no time on the other side. Every hour, every day, she is
The,
discovering a lot of injuries from falls. Yeah.
and the fact that she had dementia, she is free. That's what
Yes.
it is. She has freedom now.
She's learning how empowered she really is. Yeah.
She was
She is
limited
super
in her
happy.
body, and now she's like, woo, I can do what I want to.
And she's rediscovering joy with being, where in a state of dementia it was aggravating as hell. But she's great, and you might want to check in back in on her in maybe a few months or a few years, because Mildred is exploring and becoming more and more and more. I'm getting that she'll have cool stories to tell by then.
She says if
I,
that's what I hope for, fits her personality. She likes to learn.
that's
Awesome.
that's what she's doing 24/7. Yeah. And for some reason, she's really clear about that cup of coffee. She has a mug in her hand. Very interesting. Thank you, Edie, for giving us a chance. There is someone I keep pushing away. Should I be? Yes, keep pushing that person away. I don't know the details. I have no idea what you're talking about. But the energy came through real quick. Yes, that person feels inappropriate, therefore they are inappropriate for you. Maybe not someone else, but for you, their
Maybe
energy.
push
Really, it's
harder.
not the person, it's their energy. And they're responsible for their energy, so it's not appropriate for you. Yeah, it's okay. Keep going. Yeah, keep following your intuition. It's okay to do that. Who else?
Ronald, how do I reset myself? Finding it difficult to tune out the outside noise.
Lots of
Ah,
ways. Where you want to
well, and
start?
also let me add to this because this just boom came to me. Honey, you don't have to tune it out. You have to be able to, you don't have to. I'm not, that
You have the
sounds,
option
to learn how to integrate with it because the outside noise can be educational and can move you forward sometimes. You just need to you I keep using the wrong words. It's it's time to recognize that you can hear the outside noise and not be disturbed by it.
It just is.
it's a filter. Yeah, it just is. And
It's
so,
just there.
and the struggle that you're struggling with, okay, how do I get, that is what is keeping you from quote unquote resetting yourself, because that has become your challenge. Oh, I have to turn out the outside stuff so I can focus and on the internal. And
It's your excuse not to go internal.
right. And
It becomes your
it's a
excuse.
challenge. You're challenging yourself. You're enjoying the challenge. Let it go.
There's bigger challenges once you tune in.
Yeah.
Consider trying meditations and self-hypnosis, because some meditation techniques and many self-hypnosis techniques incorporate noise and disturbance that is happening around you naturally, instead of waiting for mental and environmental silence. You don't have to. You can use it as part of your meditation. So there's tools out there to you do what Iris just said. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, up here. Check in on mom and dad for us.
Yes. All right. So we need names. What you don't have to say last names necessarily, but first name of mom and first name of dad at birth.
It was funny, excuse me, when I was looking for cartoons. We're going to show you some cartoons in a minute, not little clips, but there was one that it was John Edward, and he's like, does anybody's name begin with any letter of the alphabet?
You can't show them now?
I don't have that one up. I got some others I can show.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's ones. I love John Edwards. Yeah. Does anybody have a relative named John?
Yeah. And don't get me wrong. I think he's legitimate. Or
he is, but that's what makes it fun to pick on him.
Yeah. But it's like, why even bother? You know, because I'm terrible. I'll have a word in the back of my head. I'll go to say something and I'll go, oh, I can't remember the word, but it begins with an H, I think. And somebody will come, are you talking about? And it begins with an S, whatever the word is. And I'm like, yeah, that's it. And I can't even get my words straight, much less try to figure out anybody else's name.
For sure. So we're still waiting for Janine to give us the names.
Okay, so I'll show you this while we're waiting.
Yeah, mom and dad's first names. There is a time delay from when you type and we see. So
Psychic Cat looks into your soul.
He looks like a furry Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah. And she wanted to know what she needed to know right now and check on her parents, Lowell and Phyllis.
All right. Heather is Janine's sister, so she would know.
Yeah.
And we did answer Janine's question about what she needs to know right now. We did answer that one. And so checking in on parents, Lowell and Phyllis. Oh, by the way, this show is recorded, so Janine can go back on YouTube and play that back if she missed it. All right. So do you want to tune in on Lowell or you want to tune in on Phyllis? Iris? Or both?
That was Heather's. Oh God, now we're really going crazy. Well, Heather was.
Oh, that was Heather's question. Okay, so we answered Heather's questions about what do you need to know now. Janine was asking the same question. Gotcha. Sorry, guys. Gotcha. This communication thing lately, we need a buzzer. We have a bell. We need a buzzer.
Yes. Thank you, Ronald, for setting us
Thank
straight.
you, Ronald. You gave us a flashlight there in the dark. Thank you. All right, so let's go.
We're supposed to be doing psychic readings.
We're not the only ones that struggle at the moment. Trust me, I've watched them all do it. Everybody's radars are a little bit wonky, to a lot wonky. So right now, let's go with Lowell and Phyllis.
Yeah, because I'm still on them.
And then we'll go back to the other question. Lowell and Phyllis are soulmates from way back.
That's what I was going to say. I'm seeing them together.
They're together. They are very much together. And there seems to be, don't know why, there's symbolism in this. Remember, abstract stuff comes up, and I don't know what it means. But for some reason, they're covered in flour, as in white powder. All right?
Oh, wow.
Like there was a food fight or somebody accidentally dropped a grocery bag and poof, it went everywhere. Something like that. It might have been cat food. It might have been cornmeal, but I'm seeing flour. All right. And they're both covered in it, and it shocked them and it made them laugh. And it seems to be they're showing me a memory of a time when they laughed hysterically together. They're happy where they are. And for some reason, Phyllis is putting out of energy of hands off. For herself, a hands off vibe about this whole Earth and galaxy evolution, spiritual thing, guidance, helping raise the vibe from the other side, yada, yada, yada stuff. She does not want to play that game. All right. Lowell, on the other hand, has agreed to be like an anchor in the situation, a grounding force, and so he's participating passively, not active. He's not aggressive. He's not being assertive. However, being a grounding force is actually very assertive. He's being a neutralizing, grounding force. His words that I'm hearing are to keep it reasonable. When things get a little bit too weird, too abstract, he brings in a grounding, calming, soothing energy that says, everybody take a deep breath and let's be reasonable, a little bit more logical about this, and come back to ground zero, and then try to solve the problem again, or try to understand the situation again, or whatever it is you're trying to do. But that's all he's doing. He's not telling you where to go from there. He's not telling you what to think from there. He's just saying, wait a minute, calm down. Let's do this from another level. And Phyllis is being an observer. All right, she's staying further back, but she's definitely, I can see the energy cord between the two of them. It's big, wide, and thick, which is unusual. It's normally a little thin silver line. Theirs is about 6 inches across. It's really big. And they're very connected to each other, which means Phyllis is helping Lowell. All right, just by association, she's helping power him, and she's supporting him because she is him. All right, she's letting the Lowell aspect of her, yeah, they probably did have cooking accidents if they both love to cook. Absolutely. And Phyllis is being supportive of Lowell in his endeavor, and that's as far as she wants to participate right now. Both of them are sending out all kinds of heart type messages of, we love you girls, we love you, we're so proud of you, we see you, we know what you do, you're angels, you can do no wrong. They absolutely see you at your highest angelic self. They adore you guys, and they're very proud of you. All right, they're very, very happy. It took until right then for them to realize that I was channeling for you. They didn't realize that. It suddenly turned on. They suddenly went, oh, that's our girls. I was like, yeah, it is. And they're like, oh, tell them how much we love them. I was like, oh, yeah. So that's why that message came in second, all right, instead of first. It's kind of ironic.
Yeah, they're kind of like, why are you poking around over here? I mean, this is cool, but...
yeah, it's like, why do you want to know so much? And here they are. So they said, let them know we're perfectly fine. Mom likes to drink, or she likes her aperitifs, or she likes a good glass of wine. She likes good stuff, a nice mixed drink, or an expensive wine, or something like that, or a fancy drink or something like that. She likes the good stuff, and she still does, apparently. Or she never let herself have that before, and now she does. One or the other. And Lowell said, I'm just still being me. Lowell hasn't changed. He claims he has not changed. Wine. All right. So, yeah. Heather Hilton said wine, and the other, she commented twice. The other one was thank you, ladies.
And,
she loves the wine. Yeah.
And so we spent a lot of time on that one, but I wanted to go.
Heather also...
Edie made a comment about her early reading about her mom. She said, funny thing about the coffee, she didn't drink it at all. Her emphasis on it says to me that she realized there are things she believed that she no longer does. So, yeah.
Yeah, your mother was, Mildred was probably trying to show that she's come outside of her box. Yeah, because she kept pushing that image at me. It was cool. Now, we did what do you need to know now for one sister. And now the other sister was asking the same question for herself. Heather, was that you?
Yeah, I think. No, Heather was.
Was Heather the first one? Janine was the second one that we didn't answer. Right.
Yeah.
So, Janine, thanks, ladies. You're welcome. And we're reading the comments here. Okay, Heather, we'll get to your other question in just a minute. So
we've got a couple of others above too, so don't want to forget them.
We'll jump around as much as we can. We're doing good on time. So, Iris, what you got? Janine, what do her guides want her to know right now? I keep hearing music from Enya.
Ah, nice.
The Irish ballad singer. Yeah.
Wait just a minute.
No worries. I'm reading questions while you do that.
Yeah, because there's something different coming through for Janine, and I'm trying to get a pinpoint on it.
Lauren Freer, we will answer your question in just a minute. Happy to. And Janine says that she loves Enya. I'm not surprised. You look like her.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Janine, there. I'm getting that you started making some changes, and now you're wondering if you should keep going or change direction again. And
that sounds right.
And what okay. So this goes back to following your own intuition, your own gut feeling, that voice in the back of your head. If you start something and it's not what you thought it was going to be, do you cut your losses or do you turn and do something different? It's a panic mode. You're hitting that panic button. And what you need, enjoy it. Don't try to second guess yourself, and don't rush it. This is one of those things where the sign will come through that you're on the right path. I tell people a lot of times when they feel like they're beating their head against a wall, it's the universe, it's their spiritual Roomba that's hitting a wall, and it's like okay, give it a little push and go in another direction, and then it frees up. So it's not that you're doing the wrong thing at the moment, you just might not be approaching it in the right way. So don't give up on it.
Time to nudge.
Yeah.
In another direction and see what happens next.
Absolutely. So does that make sense? She said, oh, snap. I don't know if that was related or not.
It might not be, but I want to catch more. We passed more people.
Yeah.
Michelle Sacinco has similar questions. Well, ladies, what is it that I need to know now? So do you feel like tuning into Michelle?
Michelle.
And what does she need to know now?
Michelle's worried about somebody else. There's somebody in her life that she's worried about. And it's when we love people and we want to take care of them, it's very easy to feel like, what can I do to nurture them? What can I do to, you can support people and nurture them, but you lead a horse to water, but you can't force them to drink. There are things that my kids haven't done, and or they do, and I think maybe you should do this instead. And I realize they're on their own spiritual journey. And so, as much as sometimes I see them doing things that I'm going, oh, I don't, they're not going to listen to me. They're going to do what they want to
What
do.
they need to do and what they
Yeah.
think they need to do in the moment. Right.
Yeah. And so, just like a toddler has to fall on his butt a few times to learn how to walk, adults are the same way. And sometimes you
Yeah.
can say things like, if that's what you need to do, I'm here to support you. If you need advice, I'll be happy to give you some input. But you've got to let go and let this other person do whatever it is that they need to do. They've got to have their own experiences as much as you want to protect and shelter them. That's what I'm hearing you need to know. And, I hope that falls
Well,
in
in a
line.
nutshell, that's an excellent one. Thank you. I was channeling into the next question while you were working on that answer. And this is Mary Vitale. And she simply wrote, "Missing my loved ones. I'm looking for signs." And aren't we all?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And so I started tuning in. Guys, what signs do you want Mary to know are you when you visit? And they instantly came through and said, "Oh, good. Tell Mary this is what we put out when we're around." They want you to know that outside, little tiny flowers that are purple, we typically know them as forget-me-nots. Also, phlox, Phlox, phlox. It's another ground cover, tiny flower. Violets are another one. But these bluish, purplish flowers sometimes have white or pinkish variations. One of your loved ones jumped up and said, "Me, I'm hydrangea." So hydrangeas are a part of this too. Apparently, your family, your loved ones are into flowers for the most part, but specifically the little tiny purplish, bluish ones, like forget-me-nots or phlox, or there's a grape something. It's not an iris, but anyway, it looks a lot like a
Lilac?
looks a lot like a lilac. It looks like a tiny miniature lilac. But these are all grass growing ground cover type flowers, not the long stem stuff like a tulip would be, or a daisy would, not a daisy, not like a daisy would be. They're low to the ground, tiny little wax flowers, little fill flowers. And that's where most of your loved ones are trying to reach you, which has huge implications that I'll step into in just a minute. One or two of your loved ones actually has indoor signals for you. And I don't know what this is, but one of them keeps showing me, stay with me. They keep showing me a little bunny rabbit made out of pipe cleaners that has a magnet stuck to his butt. All right. Like he's a little art project that maybe is a little bit crunched up by now. Now that might be symbolic of something else, but there's something, the fuzzy, the white, the bunny, the artsy crafty feel to it. The magnet, not so much. But something about tiny white fuzzy tchotchke, household tchotchke, little things like a refrigerator magnet or a bulletin board stick pin or something like that. That person, bunny rabbit, is real important too, like an Easter bunny or a candy bunny or just
We're coming up on Easter. Be looking for that stuff too.
You're going to see that, yeah. That person also and that's a masculine energy. That loved one uses more of that kind of householdy thing. And I asked, does anybody use paper clips or pennies or dimes? And they all went, nah, not so much. So that's not it. That's not it. They're much more vital. That's your last name, Vitale. They're much more vital with, they want living symbols like flowers, like bunny rabbits, like artwork. Okay. So there's a short answer for that. Mary, also the fact, they said for me to bring it. Your loved ones are into the tiny flowers in the yard. That means they have a very close connection to yard elves, fairies, the magic kingdom, elves. What else is out there? Pixies. They're very
Pixies, brownies,
gnomes, pixies, brownies are close friends with your loved ones. So if you want to look into building a healthy relationship with those entities, you'll have a hotline to a lot more magic in your life that includes your loved ones. What do you call a psychic gnome who escaped from prison? Answer: small, medium, at large.
As soon as you were talking about that, I realized I had that one in the
hamper.
Yeah.
Perfect. Good. Awesome, Iris. So there you go, Mary. Have fun with that. Look into that and grow those relationships as you wish, as you feel intuitively guided to. Heather Hilton says, is the person currently offering me love, support, and friendship being sincere? And are they part of my future journey? Heather, I totally appreciate that you're asking me such a personal question on a national talk show. Maybe not. Let me answer that one in private, if you don't mind. I'm going to see you in a couple of weeks. So let's talk about it then. Because that's actually a 20-minute answer. And it's private. I'm not going to talk about it in front of a bunch of other people. and you're going to find out in 2 weeks. And I'm also hearing that it's okay for that to wait 2 weeks. It's okay. Nothing's going to change. And if it does, it's supposed to. So, Lauren Freer, Iris, this one's for you. Hi, ladies. So glad I found you tonight. My dad passed 2 weeks ago, 96 years old. Bob, can you see he made his transition peacefully? Yeah.
Bob is.
Hit us up, Iris. Let us tell us where Bob is.
Bob likes the outdoors, I think.
He likes the stars and deep space, that kind of outdoors. He likes out. No confinement. Yeah. He is so happy to be outside of his miserable 96-year-old body. He's happy. Yeah.
And I don't know. The first thing I saw him was playing golf. I don't know if he's putting moons around or what, but he's
asteroid on the back 8 of the solar system. Or I'm aiming for one of those 100 Jupiter moons.
Yeah.
Playing through.
And I've learned, I shouldn't interpret, the outdoors. I saw him playing golf. I don't know why. I don't know if it's a new thing or if he likes it or what. But, and beer. Like
the number one export in our galaxy is beer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously. Seriously, it is.
He's enjoying the high life. He's settling in and kind of taking a break. I think he'll eventually settle in to. Oh, he loves golf, she says. So I think he's like on vacation.
Yeah.
But I'm hearing that at some point he's going to kick in and start organizing and doing some sort of project helping the cosmos. It's not just like going and helping people. It's almost like you think of an industry president. He's going to be a high up.
He's playing golf with God and giving God a break. He invited God out for a quick 36 holes. Dude, set the box down for a while. Come chill with us on the golf course for a while. No God shit. We're all just dudes having a good time playing the Earth's most fascinating game. Not to me, but to them. And God went, hell yeah, sign me up. And they all went off and played golf and smoked cigars and had a few drinks while they played.
I've got a great joke about God taking a vacation.
Well, tell us.
And
I can see the next question, but we can do it. We can do it.
Okay,
this is important.
So God was talking to St. Peter, and he said, I just need some time off. I've got to take some time off. But and St. Peter said, well, okay, where do you want to go on vacation? He said, I just can't decide. And he said, I can go to Mercury, go get a tan, lay out, it's close to the sun.
Get nice and warm.
But there's not much to do there. It's, I want to be out of the mainstream, but not like that. And he said, well, you could go to Saturn. It's got all those nice rings, and it's cooler, and it's, kind of fun, and they've got all the moons around it. No, that's too far the other way. And he said, okay.
Picky.
Here you go. You can be anything you want and do anything you want. Why don't you go to the earth? If you want to get away from people, you can go sit on the mountain with a guru, or you can go to the beaches and be around people. You can go to the oceans and visit the sea life, or you could do lots of things on earth and choose to be anything you want to be. And God said, oh, St. Peter, that sounds nice, but I did that about 2,000 years ago, and I knocked up some Jewish chick, and they've been talking about it ever since.
And we clear the space for a little bit of perjury there in the religious sense. Where's the word?
Yeah.
That was funny.
I know, that's terribly.
It's awful. It's
I'm waiting for the lightning bolt to hit, but hey, God has a sense of humor. Okay.
Yeah, he let that joke happen. I'm not going to do it, girl, and they're still talking about it. I don't think I'd get any peace. Good vacation joke. All right. So their next question is coming from Angela, and she says, "What you ladies got for me?" And then she went on to write autonomy, knowing they are making great or horrible decisions.
She commented when I was talking about.
She's talking about parenthood.
Yeah.
Giving your kids autonomy and knowing what they're making, whether they are making great or horrible decisions. But what do we have for her? And Edie has a laughy laugh on that one, and Michelle did too. That's awesome. All right, so Angela, do you have a bead on what's for Angela, or do you want me to pick up that ball and run with it? What do you want to do?
Go ahead, take the ball and run.
Show me, Angela. What do you guys want Angela to know now? Angela, stop worrying about your face. There's nothing wrong with your face. There's nothing wrong with your skin. Your health, your beauty, your face is perfectly fine. You're going through a transition, whatever imperfections you're focusing on. And this is an analogy for also what you're mentally and emotionally focusing on is temporary. The hiccup, the less than perfect, whatever that's manifesting somewhere in your countenance or hair or face. It's a reflection of what you're mentally, emotionally worrying about. And they want you to know that Middle English, Murphle thing, whatever, an imperfection is temporary. And on its own, if you keep going the way you are in your own personal evolution and research and enlightenment, it will clear itself up. The problem, the hiccup, the inconsistency, the incongruency that you keep running into that's not making quite enough sense or doesn't the vibe's not matching up yet, that's going to smooth out.
I would suggest
if you keep going the way you are.
She's also focusing on it so much that she's going to manifest it to stay.
Stop inviting it to stay. Stop inviting it to stay. That also means Ooh, that goes a little further. Stop inviting people to stay who cause you discord, who cause you feelings of disharmony or disconnect or isolation and all those other related words. They want you to stop inviting people and or energies into your life that propagate that feeling or that state of existence. They're showing me that in the past you have enjoyed a relative life of solitude and anonymity. You're like your coworkers, they know who you are, but they really don't know, maybe they don't know much about your personal life beyond that you're a mother and that's it, perhaps. They're saying that's going to change, and it's okay for you to lean into people learning personal information about you, that they're not trying to judge you. They're trying to connect with you. Aha, now I see why they wanted me to go down this road. You need to work on connections and building trust and experiencing leaps of faith, yours and others. All right, you can encourage other people to take leaps of faith. And it starts with demonstrating it, all right, in some cases, including your son. And it's time for you to take baby steps, not just, boom, put all yourself out there and suddenly you're Bette Midler. No, fabulous Miss M. I don't think so. That's not you. Instead, we're talking about baby steps. They're showing me that your brain is trying to go to, I did that when I was younger. I was the life of the party, and look where it got me. Bunch of gossip. I was the center of gossip and people. Blah, 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 blah. No, you are not that person anymore. The person who's going to step out now is much more sophisticated, much wiser, much calmer, and much more discerning about who she shares her energy with. So you making baby steps to reveal your true self, your true energy, your true essence now will not have the repercussions that it did 10, 20 years ago, or even 5 years ago, because you're not the same person from 5 years ago either. So start looking into and then acting on. They're telling me to emphasize that, obviously. Acting on taking baby steps to continue to put yourself out there. Trial and error is entirely acceptable. Not all baby steps are going to work. Some will, some won't. Okay. Now you know you're that much wiser. But keep doing it. And stay away from people who are keeping you in the closet. I love you. Namaste. They signed out, and that's what they said. And I love you too. So what do we got here? Bop Nancy?
I deleted those. It's spam.
Oh, it's spammy. Okay.
Yeah. So
I was going to say, that's a cute handle, Bop Nancy.
Yeah. I mean, and
like
it's up to Ronald and Angela if they want to pursue Bop Nancy, but I think it's spam. It's just somebody trying to pull you in. We get somebody like that every once in a while.
Because this is a public channel.
Yeah.
So Heather says, does my grandmother Annie have any words for me? Grandmother Annie, do you have any words for her? Yeah, she does. They're at random. Iris, can you feel Grandma Annie for Heather? The words I got are super abstract. Maybe Iris can pick up something clearer.
I'm getting love yourself.
I heard popcorn. I heard popcorn. Popcorn symbolizes joy, food, and liveliness. All right. So usually when somebody throws out a popcorn symbol, it means celebrate, be happy, be joyful. Don't just calmly go, oh, that was lovely. They want you to party and get out there and physically feel the energy and throw that happy energy onto people around you, such as your dance partner or your child or your neighbor or whatever. Annie is cool. Annie says she sees a lot of herself in you. She's very proud of you. And she said, chocolate and don't bother me again. I don't know what that means. Don't bother me again. It sounds like Annie wants to limit her exposure to us humans. And she said the word chocolate. And then she said, y'all don't bother me again. And she was being very polite. She said, and don't bother me again. Okay, bye. Right, she wasn't being rude. She was being clear and definitive. And she shut the door.
She's setting her boundaries.
Yeah. That was a classic boundary set. So there you go, Heather. Guys, we're running down, and Angela says, love you too, and them too. And then Ronald says, Iris?
I've been missing my parents, Gladys and Robert, a lot recently. How are they? And this will probably be the last question we can take. And Gladys and Robert, they're good, but they're good. I'm seeing them doing kind of going in two different directions. It's not that they've lost touch with each other, but they're doing their own things, and their paths cross and they connect, but then they go on and they're choosing to
they're tribal mates. They're not soulmates.
Yeah. And sometimes their work brings them together, but they're doing well. They're just staying busy with the things that they have chosen to do on the other side. And
they both said they'll be there someday when you choose to pass into the light.
Yeah.
You're going to see both of them when you go to the light finally. Sidebar, that's not going to be for a long time.
But and they can't really explain what they're doing because they say, because I kind of went, well, what are y'all doing? Do you want
it's me to beyond and our comprehension.
Like, yeah, they said that we wouldn't understand if they tried to explain, and they're too busy to explain anyway. So
someday when we all get there, we'll go, oh, there's Gladys, there's Robert. How you doing, honey? And we'll know.
Yeah.
So because Ronald gave us an introduction tonight, thank you very much. But
and I'm going to show these real quick.
Out there having fun, guys. Big Robert, Ronald. There's a lot of Robert's energy in you, but they're having a lot of fun, and they're very happy and proud of you too. Yeah. Cartoon.
And speaking of bucket list, well, I complete my bucket list, and he says not yours, but somebody's, and it's a psychic chicken looking into.
It's a KFC chicken bucket.
And then let's see. I'm going to show you a few of these since I've found them. Polly's auto repair and psychic readings, realigning chakras and axles. He says, well, I can't even read it without my glasses. Well, yeah.
I can cleanse your aura, but that will cost extra. Realigning chakras and axles. Oh,
this one was funny. Tarot card reading. Two old ladies, well, an older woman and a younger woman, and the older woman says a lot of your problems are your own damn fault, and the woman says, bitch, you better reshuffle.
I've seen that one quite a few times on Facebook lately, and I'm not even a tarot reader.
And this woman says, I don't know if it's better to tell you what's going to happen to you next week or to follow you around to see the look on your face when it happens.
I hope someday I can be in a position to say that to somebody.
When spirit guides get real in a reading, your sass is unappreciated here, huh?
That happens a lot. Guides are very sassy people. They are beings. They're very sassy beings. They love humor. They love being fresh. I'll give you a hint. They flirt a lot. Y'all's daddies and grandpas, they look at me and go, oh, and they start flirting, and it's the cutest darn thing. It's not rude, but that message normally isn't for you, so I skip over that. But they do. They are sassy and they flirt. It's cute. It's very cute.
And this is a woman looking into her crystal ball for this man, and she says, I see you've never dated a clairvoyant before.
Kind of weird.
Yeah, last
cute, though.
one. When you're not sure how to use your multidimensional gifts yet, so you improvise.
And sign
Newt,
says,
Newt psychic readings and tax advice.
for
So
sure.
yeah. So we
Heather says,
appreciate
thank you. And Ronald says, thank you. And Edie, are we seeing a theme here? Thank you so much for Edie. And Heather says, wow, thank you so much. You have no idea how much that meant to me. And then they were talking to each other and saying, Iris, you were right on, spot on. You did it. She said it. Da 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 da. Got all kinds of nice kudos. Kudos. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Bridget, thanks for coming on the show, sweetie. What time? It's 5:45. It depends on what your question is, if we can answer, if it's a short or long one.
Quarter to
10. 10. Quarter to
11. Whatever.
5:45. I got to find out what 5:45 means to me, because apparently that comes up a lot. Bridget, real quick, write your question in the chat if you can in Facebook. If you're still on the air, there is a delay between when you type it and when we see it, sometimes up to a minute. So feel free to try to write that question. If we see it, I'll try to get you a nice, accurate, but short answer. And we appreciate y'all's, guys, everybody. We appreciate you guys trusting us and coming out here to play with us.
Because it's fun for us, too. We have
does.
a good time. Obviously, we have a good time doing it.
Yeah. And like we mentioned before, everybody else gets a little bit of the message that's meant for one person, but we're all getting a little bit. Well, speaking for me and probably for Iris, we're getting advice out of this stuff too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Good reminders and such. So
excellent reminders. Reminders.
So, but we do need to wrap it up because we're going really late on our show. But we'll do this again sometime. And what did we decide we were going to do next week?
Bridget, you're asking a really long question, sweetie. We'll have to catch you on the next one because that's actually long. Michelle says, thank you for the invite. Thank you. So next week we are
420. And we're going to talk about that phrase.
Next week is April 420. So we're going to have a topic-specific, theme-specific show.
Yes.
And what did we come up with for a title there?
For the final.
Next week.
It is, I jotted it down. Where'd I put it? Marijuana, medicine, magic, or mayhem.
Very cool. Marijuana. Medicine, magic, or mayhem. And Angela says that's also Hitler's birthday.
Yes. So
we might include that fact and do some research.
Yeah.
Bridget, thank you for being understanding.
And we're here every Wednesday night at 9:30.
Lauren, we're here every week. Yeah, every week at 9:30 Eastern time. And same Bat channel on YouTube and Facebook. Feel free to follow us and get notices. Yeah.
All right. So thank you, everybody. Have a good weekend. We'll see you next week.
Good night.
Thank you for joining the Eyes of Indigo with Iris Carter and Margot Ross Sears. Music is Arcadia by Kevin MacLeod of Incomptech.com. Licensed under Creative Commons. Visit our Facebook page for broadcast details at www.facebook.com/Eyes of Indigo. Show is copyrighted 2022 by Iris Carter and Margot Ross Sears.